And we are back again with a brand new episode of Another 24. I am your wildly handsome host, Taurus Montez, and today I have a very special guest in the building. Now, this guest, we were talking about how to introduce her, and all I can say about her is she is a community leader. She is a community activist. She is the creator of Feeling Some Type of Way, and she is also a dating and relationship coach. I have the one, the only, the magnificent Brittney in the building. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. Good morning.
Good morning. So I gotta
Happy to
ask.
Be here.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah,
'Cause some people, they be kind of,
Nope.
they act like they mad to be here. I'm like, what's up?
This is. I love this. Connecting is one of my favorite things to do. So.
All right. So we were talking about your community feeling some type of way.
Yes.
Now, I feel like the work that Feeling Some Type of Way is doing is important. I mean, it's centered around self-awareness and just being you.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me a little bit about why that initiative was so important to start?
Yeah, for sure. So, for me, it's been a real personal journey.
Okay.
So I've had a long stint of a self-awareness journey.
Okay.
It started around the time that I kind of got the vision for Feeling Some Type of Way.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at one of the big four consulting firms.
Okay.
It was the most stressful time of my life.
Always is.
I have never been that stressed out.
Wow.
And so it got to the point where I took a leave of absence from work because it was just weighing on me so much what was happening at work. And I won't get into that because that's a whole nother story.
I was about to ask you too.
That's a whole nother, we would need another 60 minutes for that. But I won't get into that. But it really forced me to, just like having that space and time off of work forced me to kind of sit with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have to go to work.
Right.
And so I could literally choose what I was going to be doing every day.
Right.
And when I did that, me and the other person who I kind of started this community with, Ebony,
Hey, Ebony.
Hey, girl. we were at Super Bowl Sunday, and her and I both are dancers, and so we, danced in college, was a long time ago now for us both. I'm a little bit older than her, but it's been a long time, but like we missed dancing.
Right.
And so we were at Super Bowl Sunday, and we're like, well, let's do like a Black History Month tribute video.
Okay. Right, yeah, that's dope. Yeah,
And at first we were just joking. Like, I don't even know how it came up, but we were just like, it'll be fun. We could dance and we can get costumes. And we're like, yeah, let's do it. So after we came up with that idea, I was like, kind of serious, kind of joking. A couple days later, Ebony sends me a song. She's like, this is the song I think we should use for our video. So I'm like, okay, she's following
serious.
up.
Yeah,
right?
she's serious about it.
She's following up on it. Okay, well, let me listen to the song. The song was My Power by Beyonce.
Okay.
And
of
so
course, Beyonce, the queen.
the queen, but that song in particular, she's talking about like, don't let them take your power. And at the time, it really like resonated with me.
Right.
Didn't know why at the time, but I guess because I was going through the situation at work, I felt like they were taking my power. And I think that's what was so triggering for me and made me have to just like leave. And so that song was the perfect song.
Right.
So me being a dancer, when I hear a song that resonates, I'm like...
You start hitting the move. She hitting the move right now. Okay.
Once she sent over that song, I'm getting the moves together. Like,
Right.
okay, well, we need practices. We need to, make sure we have our outfits. It was probably a week because I wasn't working that it took for us to get this dance together, record, find our outfits, edit, and put the video out. Literally a week.
That's pretty quick.
And y'all know, how, it's a lot of work for that.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But because I didn't have anything else to do and I was just doing what I wanted to do, And this was like pent up creative energy that I needed to express.
You need the outlet.
I needed that outlet.
Yeah.
And so it was fast. It came out of me. It was like, I am in corporate America. Yes, I have a full-time 9-to-5 job, but I think at the heart of hearts, I'm a creative. And so this community is really built around my personal brands. And a part of that is being creative and like wanting to kind of like use that in a way to, support the community however I can.
So when you were taking that break from work, and obviously the break itself gave you a recharge, you probably, recharged that battery that was depleted from them, doing whatever they was doing to you. But do you think the reprieve came from just taking that break or actually thinking about what am I going to do next?
So I think it was both, because I think after that video, I didn't do that for feeling some type of way, but that's when it started to come to me very clearly. Yeah. And, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. Right. And so I'm like taking in all of this, whatever, information from the universe or God or, whatever you want to call it. I'm taking in all this information. I'm like writing it in my notes. Like, I don't know what all this means, but eventually it's all going to make sense. And so I was kind of building it from that point first. And then everything kind of came over time. But that was in 2023. Okay. And so it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. Yeah. But it took me years to figure out, okay, if this is something that I want to do or that my spirit is telling me that I need to do because, is what makes me feel the most fulfilled, then how do I incorporate that into something that I can offer the world, the community, the culture, my people? Right. Yeah. Because that's what is important to me. Connection is important to me. Self-awareness, because this has all been a self-awareness journey for me, is important to me. And having fun is important to me. Like, I don't want to be stuffy. I'm tired of corporate America. Yeah. Like, the fact that I have to go in there every day and I have to wake up early, meditate, take a walk, go see the sun, like, be in nature, really center myself, and then, like... Yeah. And
put on a mask and go in there.
I have to wear certain clothes. Yeah. I have to talk a certain way. Like,
it's just not authentic.
It's not authentic. And so this personal brand, I wanted it to be very authentic to me. Whatever I wanted to do, I want to be able to like express it the way I want to.
So you mentioned the self-awareness piece, and that's very, very important. I mean, it ties into everything that we do. Yes. But why do you think that we ignore our own selves so much? Because it's almost an afterthought. You didn't even think about your self-awareness, and now you've built a whole community around, bringing attention to self-awareness.
I don't think it's on purpose. I don't think it's on purpose. I think that we get wrapped up in what society is telling us that we're supposed to do. For me, I was a dancer all growing up as a child, but I distinctly remember someone close to me telling me, you can't pursue that as a career. Damn. That's just a hobby.
Yeah, and people don't realize how damaging that is. And
I still remember that to this day.
Especially if it's somebody very close to you. Now, that hurts.
So I'm like, okay. It wasn't that it hurt. It was just kind of like, well, this is truth to me because I don't know anything else. Right. And so I think a lot of what the baby boomers were doing was kind of telling us as the younger generations to do what you need to do to get to the bag.
Exactly.
Which is, I think that's good advice because following that path, even though it wasn't as authentic to me as it should have been.
It's practical advice. Though.
Yeah, like I've been able to sustain myself, right. I've been able to, buy a house, like do all the things financially that I, would want to do or check the boxes. But my spirit was starving. Right. And that's not healthy. It's not going to last.
And what's true for somebody else may not necessarily be true for you. It was a different world then.
Exactly.
Yeah, this world is completely different.
It's completely different now.
You can make a whole career. You can make a whole life for yourself around what you actually want to do, and not have to go work in somebody's factory for 16 hours a day.
Exactly, but that's what the baby boomers did.
Right.
And then, but
that's all they knew.
They worked in a factory, and I'm from Detroit, so
damn.
Everybody I know, you know, a lot of my close family, the factory was, you made it. And so they're thinking like, okay, maybe this is more manual labor, it's hard work, we've been doing the grueling, you know, go to school, get a good job.
Right. Work
job.
for 60 years and then die.
Yes. And, you know, make sure you can appeal to the people you need to appeal to. Yeah. And so I'm just like, okay, I'll do that. Sure. Check all the boxes. But then, like, I came to a point in my life where I had to start listening to my
probably
spirit.
Burned out.
I was so burnt. I mean, I had to take a leave from work. I was very burned out because it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And so I've been, you know, just feeling a calling to do this. And it's been a journey. I've been, you know, trying to figure it out and you know, position it in a way that it makes sense because my thoughts can be all over the place sometimes. Right. And if you ask me a question, I'm like, let me think about that and figure it out. So it took a few years for me to figure it out. But I think it's at a place where now I'm ready to just like invite everybody to join.
Yeah, my mom, she always says, because she was a lot like, you know, your parents or whoever it is that was giving you that advice in the beginning. She was like, yeah, you got to go to college and you got to get a job and you got to take care of yourself and yada, 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 which I did. But, you know, she went through her own struggles at a point, and she changed almost a 180. Like, yeah, this is not, you don't have to do this. Yeah. Because she had a breakdown herself. Yeah. Sorry, Mom, telling your business.
I mean, but this is the self-awareness part that I want to push because you have to know what it is that you're placed here to do. And I think starting that is hard for people because we're just conditioned differently.
Yeah, it's a different life.
Yeah, and so if you've been told all these things from the people you love the most, of course you're just gonna like gravitate toward that. Right. And then you also don't have a blueprint for what it is that they're telling you to, you know, what it is your spirit is telling you to do on the other side. And so now you have to figure that out while you're burnt out doing this to survive. It could be a lot.
It is a lot.
And fortunately, I've had the experiences in my life that I've had to be able to come to the place that I am. And so I just want to offer that to as many people who are willing to like listen. Right. Because I know everybody doesn't have that opportunity. So
yeah, my mom, she says now, you know, that she's had her breakthrough and she's doing a lot better in what she wants to do. But she always says, you know, live from the inside out. You know, a lot of us, we live from the outside in. All right, let me get these things and then these things and then these things. And then I figure out how I feel about it later.
Exactly.
But it's like, think about the inside first.
Exactly.
And then you go out and get these things.
And a breakthrough, breakdown, burnout, all of that is your body trying to tell you something.
Yeah, exactly. It really
your body's trying to tell you something.
Your body keeps the score.
It keeping score. It's telling you that you need to do something different, and it's up to us to figure out what that is. Got it. And so this is a space for you to kind of start that. Right. And so I know that everybody's not open to the work immediately. So join, learn your attachment style. That's the self-awareness piece. Okay. That's the one requirement for the community is to learn your attachment style. Okay. That gives you a blueprint to yourself that opens up the conversation. And then, you know, come have fun. Like, involve yourself in the community. And then eventually, if you do come to the place where you're like, you know what? I really do think I need somebody's help helping me through this process of self-discovery. I offer coaching.
There you go.
So
you mentioned something important, your attachment style. Now, why is attachment style, why is that so important to you yourself, to people as, you know, as people? Why is that so important?
It's important to everybody because everybody has an attachment style.
Right.
Like, if you're born, you have an attachment style.
Mm-hmm.
And your attachment style is conditioned very early in your life. And so it's conditioned by the age of 2.
Damn. Okay.
And so you have an attachment style that's affecting you to this day, however old you are, that's been ingrained in you since you were 2. And it's running your life because it's basically what's ingrained in your subconscious. It's some like theory behind that. I won't get too much into it unless you want me to. I will. If I want to,
But
derail.
what is an attachment style? Attachment to what?
So your attachment style is the basis of how you operate in relationships.
Okay.
And so from 0 to 2, you're being cared for by somebody because you can't care for yourself, of course.
Yeah, definitely not.
And so whoever's caring for you, how they attune to your emotions determines your attachment style.
That young.
That young.
That you don't even, I don't remember anything before, honestly, before like 5 or 6.
Exactly.
So you're telling me when I was 0 years old, that is affecting me right now. I don't even remember.
From 0 to 2,
Okay.
whatever was happening that you don't even remember is still affecting you to this day. And so
It's not fair.
it's not about how anybody took care of you or provided for you, because I think that was the kind of hard part for me to take in at first, because I'm like, what do you mean? It's about how my parents attuned to me. Like, I'm fine.
Right.
I had food, I had shelter, I had clothes. I was good. But it's not about how you were provided for. It's about how your parents were able to attune to you emotionally.
Okay.
Period. And so I think, especially in our community, the Black community, because of what we were just talking about, our generation before us had a lot of focus on being productive. They were focused on work.
Yeah, they was.
They were focused on getting to the bag, and so they could provide those things that we needed to survive, like the baseline things. You need a bed, you need a roof over your head, you need some water, you need some clothes.
Right.
Okay? You need some food. And so they're focused on that. They don't have time to attune to too much emotions now.
Yeah, because they tired at the end after all that.
And you crying?
Right.
You want me to do what?
Right.
And so it's very subconscious on both ends. So they're subconsciously not attuning to your emotions as a baby. And then on top of that, you're subconsciously taking in how they are attuning to your emotions. And that's wiring how you're going to operate for the rest of your life.
Okay. Interesting.
This is why it's important.
Yeah, I see. So now there are 4 different attachment styles.
There are 4 different attachment styles.
And you had me do an attachment style quiz.
I did.
So I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to be vulnerable.
Okay.
I'm going to show you my results.
Which is very admirable for your results.
Well, it's for the sake of the people out there. The people need to know this.
Sacrifice for the people.
So first off, tell me about this quiz that I had to do.
So as a part of the Feeling Some Type of Way community, like I said, the one requirement is that you take the attachment style quiz.
Okay.
And so once you take that quiz, it's going to ask you a series of questions, and you choose the questions as, honestly, or answer the question as honestly as you can. Don't try to, whatever comes first to mind, that's what you want, go with that. And so
no judgment.
It's like, it's just you and so nobody's judging you. This is, again, something that's ingrained in you since you were 2 years old. So it's like,
right.
It's not even your fault to judge you. And so you go through a series of questions, answer them as honestly as possible. Once you get your results, it kind of tells you how you operate or what your tendency is when you're operating in relationships.
Okay.
And that could be any relationships. It could be dating. It could be familial relationships. It could span across your work relationships, like any type of relationship that you have. Your attachment style affects.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my results with you.
Okay.
And the first thing I want to say that I noticed, I already had an idea of what my attachment style was because I'm a psychology major.
Okay.
I graduated from Georgia State. And what I wanted to say about my results is that it's not, it's on a sliding scale almost. It's like you can be certain percentages of the 4 different types of
Yeah.
attachments.
Before you say what you're going to say as
Right.
far as what your attachment style is,
Okay.
I want to kind of give a little bit of an idea of those 4 attachment styles.
Okay.
So there are 3 of them that are insecure attachment, and then there's the one that's secure attachment. And so secure attachment is the goal. That means that your caregivers attune to your emotions enough for you to feel safe, to communicate, to you just like handle relationships a little bit better than the other 3 insecure attachment styles where you might have a little bit of trouble because your emotions weren't attuned to as much as they could have been during that time. And so the goal is to be secure. That's the goal. Like, you want to be able to if triggers come up, which they will.
Oh yeah.
You want to be able to handle it in a very like calm, cool, collected way, and you don't want to be kind of like triggered enough that you're gonna either pull away from a relationship or get so like anxious in the relationship that it creates a dynamic that's like not healthy.
All right. So secure attachment is the goal.
That's the goal.
Okay.
And so I we'll share mine too after you share yours.
Okay.
But I just wanted to give that kind of preface first.
All right. So here are my results.
Okay.
I'm going to share them with you and share them with the class. They're right here.
Oh.
So I guess what I would like for you to do is kind of give a rundown of what you see in my results. And I guess we'll start the conversation there. So,
Okay.
There we go.
Let's see.
And you can say them out loud. You can say the numbers. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not scared.
Good. So this is what you assumed it would be, the result. So the highest came as dismissive avoidant, which is 46%.
God, that's a lot.
It's almost half, which, that's your main attachment style that you kind of want to use to.
Right.
You do have 31% fearful avoidant. So that's kind of like your secondary attachment style. And then you have 8% anxious preoccupied. Okay. And then 15% secure.
All right. I'm 15%. I was waiting for you to get to that one. I'm 15% secure.
You have some secure in there, which is good.
Okay.
We just have to build that percentage up a little bit more. But
right. So what are these results? I mean, we barely know each other.
Yes.
But what do these results say about me, in your opinion?
Okay, so that's the good part about knowing this. It gives you kind of a blueprint. And even after you take the quiz, it gives you a little bit of like a snapshot of what each of them means. Very basic level snapshot. But dismissive avoidant attachment styles, typically you don't do emotions.
God damn. Okay. All right.
You don't.
Okay.
And it's more of a, you were made to feel as if maybe your emotions weren't important at some point during that 0 to 2 year old span.
Okay.
Maybe you had emotions and you were told that, or when you had emotions, it made your caregiver kind of pull away, or maybe they kind of left you to self-soothe your emotions. And so it kind of told you that emotions weren't safe for you. And so you kind of stuffed them down as much as you could.
Damn.
And so you figure out ways to avoid emotions within yourself and emotions with other people.
Golly, that's scarily accurate. Jesus.
Yeah. And so just knowing that one bit of information from taking that test gives you a lot of information about a person. And it helps you to really navigate a little bit better, or just know what you might need to work on. You know, it's no judgment.
So I do have emotions. I do want to say that.
Yes, of course.
I feel like I feel them deeply, but it's almost like, yeah, you're right. They don't matter, because it's like I still got shit to do, you know. And it is you're right. I'm gonna share a story with. I don't think I shared this story on the podcast, but I did a couple of therapy sessions with a therapist, honestly, And I was recording, right? And she was asking about, my childhood, how I grew up, and all of these things. So I'm like, yeah, my mom, I was the only child. My mom, she worked all the time. I was there alone a lot. And, my dad, he was locked up for armed robbery. He was locked up for like 10 years. He wasn't there before, but, he was gone for pretty much, I spent a lot of time alone, basically. Is
Yes.
what I'm saying. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's just how I grew up. It ain't nothing crazy. Like,
You didn't have anything tied to it. It was just like.
yeah, I was just like, okay, yeah, that's just my life.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the projects. I wasn't like getting shot at and like shit like that. I wasn't
Right.
starving. So I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh my God, that must have been so hard. What did you do when you got home from school and you were alone? What were you doing? I'm like,
My homework.
yeah, like, watching TV, eating Pop-Tarts. Yeah, I'm good.
Like.
But I did, okay, this is the crazy part though. I did, and I've never said this on the show, I did mushrooms, right? Which, that's a whole other thing, but it gets you there sometimes.
It's yes.
Yeah.
And it's healing too.
It is. Yeah. I did some mushroom tea, and I listened back to it, and I was crying. I was crying so hard. I was like, damn. I was
healing.
like, yeah, that was kind of messed up now that I think about it, because I don't have any kids or anything, but when I do, I would not want them to live like that. I want to be home when they get home from school. I want to pick them up from school.
Oh, see? Take a moment. And you,
Okay.
as a dismissive avoidant, you have to get used to that feeling.
Yeah.
You have to get used to allowing it to come,
Yeah.
because you said one thing that really stood out to me. You said emotions you thought didn't matter.
Yeah.
They matter a lot.
They do.
And that's a common misconception.
Yeah.
You have to deal with your emotions, or just like I was saying earlier, it will beat you down.
Yes, for sure.
It will beat you down.
For sure. It's crippling.
So,
It's crippling.
yes. So get used to feeling them, because that's telling you something. And that's my coaching work, is when you have emotional things that happen or you get emotional, you have to kind of stop, pause, feel it in your body,
Yeah.
let it pass, but then you have to unpack that.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of figure out what's going on there. So my coaching work is, I'm not a therapist. I will say that. I am not a therapist. I did not go to school for psychology. We just go put that out there.
Right.
I am certified as a life coach and a relationship and dating coach. And so I deal with kind of just the surface theory around this, because psychology is very logical if you know it.
Yeah, it is.
And so human behavior, as much as you think it's unpredictable, it's only unpredictable if you haven't gained the control over your emotions enough to make it predictable.
Yeah, commercials, ads, advertisements, social media is all psychology.
They
They're
study
playing,
people and they figure out
predictable behavior.
what gets the people to, move a certain way. And so it's very predictable. And so you can't go through life not having that level of control over your emotions, and because it'll come out when you least expect it. So
you're able to point people in the direction of, I don't want to call them deficiencies, but point people in the direction of, things that could be fixed.
Exactly.
Or I don't even want to say fixed.
I mean, things that could be improved upon.
There we go.
Yeah,
so
because everybody has opportunity for improvement.
Right.
And that's okay. Yeah, but nobody's perfect.
Yeah, but you won't necessarily have the tools on how to help them, but you can point to it.
And
surface level.
Helping, I think that part is the biggest help, because it just gives you the kind of blueprint. And then if you have some deep processing work that you need to do, and you kind of need to talk through that part with your therapist, because just like you were mentioning earlier, your therapist wants to hear about that.
Yeah.
They want to kind of ride that ride with you. They want to ask the questions to see how that made you feel, so that in those sessions you can process those emotions and get them out.
Yeah, because I'm thinking through the sessions, I'm like, Yeah, that's just the backstory. But what about what I'm going through right now? That's what I want to talk about.
That's the difference between coaching and therapy. I'm keeping you in the moment, and I'm telling you where you need to go to move forward.
Right.
Therapists, they'll sit with you with the past trauma, and they'll kind of help you process what's going on there so that you get that out, and, you know, you're kind of a little bit more steady in your everyday life because you've let that out already.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your emotions are just going to pop out when they, you know, when you feel those triggers, they're just going to come out when you least expect them.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you don't want to have that level of uncertainty with your emotions.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, you do need to deal with them.
Yeah.
So it's a delicate, you know, balance for people. But I think knowing your attachment style, first step.
That's okay. All right. I'm a believer now.
Okay.
I'm a believer.
We saw it here. Like,
Right.
that was not even, that wasn't scripted. That wasn't,
not.
This was a real moment. And this
Very
is
vulnerable.
how powerful this work is. And I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
But in a way, I didn't necessarily, like, you know, go through the same process that I teach in my coaching now, because I've kind of like fine-tuned it over time. But when I was going through my process after I kind of, you know, took the leave from work, had this, you know, video that me and Ebony did together, and then I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like, I need to figure this out. 2024, I think it all hit me, like the second half of 2024.
Yeah.
I was down for the count. Like, I would go to work, but outside of that, I was asleep.
You was quiet quitting.
I was so sleep. Like, and by this point, I had got another job. Like, I'm not in that same toxic, you know, Big Four consulting world anymore. I'm more in a place that's, you know, stable and not as triggering for me. And so I think my nervous system was able to relax
that's very
a
important.
little bit. And so it was like, whew, we relaxing. And so I think that was the reason why I can't remember what I was talking about. Hold on.
You were talking about at the end of 2024?
Oh, yes. So at the end of 2024, that's when I really just, like,
You went full.
I feel like I probably had that whole, like, shutdown or whatever that you were talking about with your mom. It caught up with me.
Yeah.
And so I was to the point where, like, this is not me. Like, I feel so not myself. I got to do something different.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do, so I was just like Googling, trying to find something that could help. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to do a detox or something.
Start there. That's
you
a good
know,
start,
like, and so in the start of 2025, I actually sought out this wellness community that's here it's not even a community, it's a wellness center. Miss Adama, Mama Adama is what we call her. And so she leads a wellness center over in Buckhead. And I went there not really knowing what to expect, but knowing that I would need help with my detox.
Right.
I would, you know, need to just kind of have some type of framework to go by, because that's
you're looking for answers.
Yeah, that's a big change that you have to do. When you're detoxing, you can only eat certain foods. Right. You can only, you know, do certain things. But I'm like, okay, what all do I need to do? She's like, come on in, I'll tell you. And so I went in. She has community, like, circles. Empowerment circles is what she calls on Sundays, where everybody who is a part of her wellness kind of center comes in. We all sat in a circle. We would all kind of go around, give updates. And she would kind of, you know, allow us this space to tell what we're grateful for. She would always have us say our birthdays out loud, because if you're not, you know, into astrology, another very important thing that you probably want to get into, but it taps you into, like, just the energy of the universe that will help you drive toward what it is that you're supposed to be doing in this world.
Gotcha.
So this like empowerment, after we all went around and talked about that, it's like, okay, we feeling good. And then we would do like a dance. And so she would have percussionists or drummers there playing instruments. And then we would all just get up and start. And I'm like, this is amazing.
That's right up your alley.
It was such a healing space. And then after that, she told us what we needed to do to kind of detox our bodies. And basically stop eating meat, dairy, fish, and we, cleanse every day. And so I'm like, okay. I didn't expect. And so I'm thinking like, okay, so how long do I have to do that for? Because this is temporary, right? She said, well, no, this is a lifestyle. Like, if you started, it wouldn't make sense for you to do. It does make a difference, though. It makes a huge difference. She said, if you started for 2 months and you just go back, it's not going to do much for your body.
Yeah, I did a 5-day water fast, and yeah, I was like, everything was just a lot sharper. Everything was a lot sharper.
I was a little skeptical at first, but I'm like, I know I've been in a rut, and I know I need to do something. So what's the I don't have anything to lose.
Right.
So I'm I bought the products that she sells, and I went home and I started using them, and I would wake up very early. At the same time, I was seeking out like personal development too, and I found Mind Valley, which if you don't know that, it's like one of the most powerful transformation platforms in the world.
Mind Valley?
Mind Valley.
Okay.
That's where I got my first coaching certification from.
Dope.
So I'm at the same time going through this coaching certification, and they're teaching us how to basically visualize things by tapping into our just inner world a little bit through meditation. And so I'm getting up at like 5 a.m. every morning, doing the cleansing, doing the meditation. Like, I didn't know what it is that I was doing at the time, but I'm like, I'm trying it, and I'm going to see what happens.
Right. And it worked.
I have not stopped since. Like, that was the beginning of 2025. It's been a year and a half now. When I tell you, even my vision, like the way that I see things physically changed.
Dang.
Like, it was my eyes, I could tell when I was looking around, I couldn't really see as sharp. It was like, once I started this cleanse, I could see so much clearer. Like,
that's crazy, right?
It was crazy. But like,
it's the food.
Even physically, that was like the manifestation. But like, I think I was able to now interpret what it is my body was trying to tell me when I was breaking down a lot better too.
Right.
And so from 2025 till now, I've been able to piece together everything I needed to do to get this going. Okay. And so that was the long story. Right. You don't have to do all that.
Yeah, you can't help with the shortcut, right?
I have gone the long route, and I've put it together in like a 6-week session to where you can get the Cliff Notes version.
Right. There we go.
And then like start your journey. So I think, you do need support. You need help when you're doing this. And I want to offer as much support as I can to people who need it. So
Got it. All right. So the second part, or the other side of the coin of what you do is relationship and dating and coaching.
Yes.
So real quick, how does attachment styles, how do they present themselves in dating? For example, my avoidant.
Dismissive
avoidant. Just using me as an example, how would that present itself in a relationship, in a dating relationship, you think?
So that's a good question. Again, this avoiding, the main kind of characteristic is that emotions for you just don't feel safe, is what it is.
Okay.
Like I said, for whatever reason, when you were emotional, it didn't give you the feedback that you were looking for.
Okay.
And so you avoid emotions. When you're in a dating and relationship situation, especially romantic, you're gonna have emotions come up. Like,
of course.
It's the closest relationship we kind of have to our familial relationships. And so it's almost in a way that we're expecting that type of love to be, ingrained into our relationships.
Right.
And so you might go into a relationship expecting for someone to be the same as you, where they don't deal too much with emotions, or if they do have emotions, you might tell them they're too much.
Right.
Or you might just pull away, let them handle that.
Right.
I got stuff to do.
True.
And so, you have a person that you're dating who knows what their attachment style is, but let's say that they're anxious. And I'll share my attachment.
Okay.
I basically was equally all the three.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I got all the... Yes, I had a lot of triggers. And so, but the most was anxious preoccupied. Okay. And so with the anxious preoccupied attachment style, I'll just speak from my point of view. I was very, if I like somebody and I text you or call you and you don't call me back, I'm like spiraling a little bit.
Wow, okay.
Like, I'm thinking, I'm going back to, the conditioning from 0 to 2 years old. There is a deep fear of abandonment with the anxious preoccupied attachment style. And so if you're not texting me back, what you doing? You leaving me? You don't want to be like it. Dramatic, and I can say that because I'm talking about myself. Right. But it's just, you have a lot of emotions if you're that attachment style. So if you're out dating, you don't really know someone's attachment style. Yeah,
you can't. It's impossible to tell
unless they tell you, right? And most people may not know that. And
have them take the quiz. Whoever you dating, tell them to take the quiz.
Tell them to come to the Instagram page and take the quiz, feeling some type of way. And so you might be dating someone who you don't know their attachment style. Maybe they're anxious preoccupied, but you're dismissive avoidant. And so you're focusing on, doing what you have to do, work, da-da-da-da-da. And then here comes this person.
Right.
Bothering you with all these emotions. You're going to pull away and just leave them where they are. And so it creates this dynamic where the person who's anxious really likes you. They're trying to get you closer, but what they're doing is actually pushing you away. And typically those two dynamics attract each other, unfortunately, because both have a certain level of emotional, unattunement, neglect. I don't like to say neglect, but, maybe...
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But all three of the insecure attachment styles have a certain level of emotional neglect. And so even for me, being anxious preoccupied, if somebody came in too strong, wanting to do too much too fast, I'm the same way.
Yeah, it would scare you off. Probably.
Yeah, it scares me off. And so typically I would just pull away from a situation like that. But if I really like you, then I'm going to lean in. And so if I'm going to lean in and then these, anxious preoccupied characteristics come out, and then for whatever reason, the fact that I'm attracted to someone who isn't really leaning in like that, and they probably are dismissive avoidant, and I'm not really catching that because it's like, okay, but they're playing into what it is that I thought I liked as far as not getting too close. But I once I do like you, I'm gonna lean in a little bit. Right. And so it's a dynamic that's very toxic.
Right. So number one, I'll ask you two question thing. So what can one do to make themselves a little more secure? And what does a securely attached relationship look like, if there is such a thing?
That's a good question. And there definitely is such a thing.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure. You can do the work to become secure. And that's the good thing about it. If you do test and you test as one of the insecure attachment styles, trust me, it's fine because you can change it. I've done the work and I've, recently tested and now I'm secure.
Okay.
And so it can happen. You don't have to go through the whole journey that I went through, but it's possible. Like you can do enough work to get to the point where you are secure. It's a lot of walking you through how those triggers are working from a theoretical standpoint, and helping you to understand them a little bit better. And then when they come up, you can kind of isolate them, push them aside, and then change the way that you feel about yourself, really. Because your conditioning is teaching you things about yourself.
Right.
And so you have this like deep conditioning that's telling you that your emotions weren't important.
Right.
And so what can that translate to? I'm unimportant. I'm not worthy of someone, attuning to my emotions. And so that's the deeper level that you have to get to and recondition to become more secure.
That's what that self-awareness piece, because once you start realizing the pattern, you're like, oh, okay, I noticed that I'm feeling this, or that this is this insecure attachment style is presenting itself right now. Okay, I can isolate it because I'm self-aware now, and now I can do what I need to do in that moment to change it. Right?
And what you need to do to change it is the work that I offer through coaching.
Right.
And that's a very long, I kind of told you how I went through it, and it was like, a little bit over a year, maybe, before I tested again. And, I tested secure. And so that work could be, who knows how long? Like
it could be forever.
Yeah, hopefully not forever. Hopefully, hopefully it's like but it could take time, and so you really need support. I did it. I sought out these different avenues that I could get support, which was great because if I didn't do that, I never would have gotten to this place.
Right, you took it serious.
I took it very serious because I was tired. My body was tired. And I don't know what it is that, I'm pretty sure it was a certain level of depression going on there. And they say that mental health is very linked to your gut health. And so doing that detox and doing that cleanse allowed for me to cleanse me internally. Right. And it just cleared everything else.
I believe it.
So.
All right. So I know we've had a very deep conversation.
Yes, it's getting
far.
Woo.
But I kind of want to lighten it up.
Yes.
For the last portion of this interview.
Let's do that.
Go on the highlight. So I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Okay.
Maybe some this or that questions, some unserious questions.
Okay.
Maybe, and you just answer them how you feel.
Okay.
All right. You don't got to think about them too much.
Cool.
If you don't want to.
All right.
So I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna ask you a question, and you tell me if it's a red flag or a green flag.
Okay.
All right. Someone who still follows their ex on social media.
I don't know. Following. If you still communicate with the ex, that's a red flag.
But just following.
I would want to know why, but I don't think that it's a red flag, just the following. But no communication. That's
all
red
right.
flag.
Green and red what do green and red make?
Well, I guess we could call it yellow.
Yellow flag. Okay, there we go.
Yes.
All right. Doesn't post you, but posts everything else on social media.
All of these are related to social media, and I am such not a social media person. So I'm like, that's fine too.
Yeah, it could be green. Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Someone who has no friends.
No friends?
No friends.
Not one?
Not one friend.
Oh, join a community.
Maybe they have
That's a
family,
red flag.
but no.
I mean, you need friends outside of family.
So that's a red flag.
At least one good sis
Okay.
or brother. But that's a little bit of a red flag, yes.
All right, takes hours to respond.
Not you laughing.
I already know what you're gonna say, or what you would have said when you were insecure.
I was about to say, and that's the thing. I'm trying to think from two different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
From my secure perspective, where I'm not as triggered by much anymore.
Right.
So I'm like, sure, do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Just tell me what's going on.
Right.
But, you know, like I mentioned before, if that was the case prior to me doing this work, I would be very much upset, and that would be a red flag. So.
Okay. All right, has opposite sex friends?
I don't think that's a red flag.
No?
No.
Okay.
I mean, are you okay with me knowing the friends too? Am I, can I come around the friend? I need to see how y'all interact. Like, if it's just a chill relationship,
Okay.
and it's completely platonic, it's fine.
All right. Talks about marriage early.
What's early?
Let's say within a month.
Talks about marrying you or marrying in general?
Talks about marrying you.
Okay. Yeah, no. Not within a month.
That's a red flag?
Yes, red flag.
All right. Never apologizes.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Self-awareness is not there.
Okay. All right. Goes to therapy.
Definitely a green flag.
Definitely green flag. All right.
Although you need a little bit more than therapy sometimes. So.
All right. Has a very successful career but no relationship history.
Yellow flag.
Yellow
I
flag?
mean.
Yellow flag?
I think that you can work toward. I mean, it's a lot going on there for whoever that is.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And so I'm not judging. I just think that you need to probably do some work. And so, yeah, yellow flag. After you do that work, then we'll revisit.
Okay. All right. Checking your partner's phone. Is that secure, insecure? What are we doing?
Red flag.
The red flag?
Don't do that.
Okay. All right. All right. Sharing your location with your partner. What you think? Is that healthy?
I think at a certain point it becomes a safety issue.
Okay.
So if that's your person, they need to know where you're at. And so sharing it is not a big deal. Now, if you're sharing a little location a little bit early in the relationship, that can be an indicator of like other things going on. Like, are you trying to control a little bit more than you should be? So I think it could be a green flag depending on where you are in the relationship.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Posting your relationship constantly online. So this is the opposite of never posting.
I love that.
You
I
do?
love to see. I'm a sucker for love.
For real?
So I love to see it.
I be thinking like, okay, if y'all posting this much on social, there's something going on behind the scenes. Because I know personally,
Yeah, but
guys who post their girl all the time that's just cheating like a dog.
well, I mean,
It's like an overcompensation. You know what I mean? That's like, bro, why are you doing this, man? It's not even real. You know what I'm saying?
maybe, but I just like to see the pictures. It makes me feel good.
Okay.
This is definitely an anxious, preoccupied, dismissive, avoidant answer.
Okay. Could be in the middle.
Yes.
All right. A man paying for every date.
Red flag or green
Is
flag?
that healthy or toxic?
Oh, healthy or toxic?
Does a man have to pay for every single date? Or is it a problem if a woman is not willing to do it? I guess that's a better question.
Oh, yes, that is a better question. Because if there's a conversation had where the man is saying that he would like some help with, the woman contributing a little bit more.
Right.
And he says it in a way that's respectful and not like,
Yeah, like
you need to pay for, right. It's like, are we having a conversation about it and then figuring out solutions? Or are you just like, doing it, like, is the man doing it and then getting resentful about it,
Right.
and it's coming out in different ways?
I think the expectation would be the problem. It's like maybe you do have the conversation. I guess have the conversation.
Have the conversation.
That's the
yeah. Like, don't. I mean, I know the expectation. Like, for me, I will say this: if a man takes me out and doesn't pay for the first few dates, at least, then it does make me feel some type of way.
Okay. All right. A woman making the first move, is that healthy or toxic?
That's very healthy.
Really?
Why not?
Okay. I mean, you ask some women, they ain't making no moves.
Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. I know several women who have made the first move, and it's worked out for them.
All right. There we go. Y'all heard. All right. Last one. Taking a break, but still talking every day. Healthy or toxic?
Where's the break?
That's
Is
what
the
I'm
break
saying.
in the room with us?
I think the break broke already.
What's the point of taking a break? So, I don't know. That seems toxic.
Seems toxic.
Yeah.
All right. So we're coming to a close. So the name of the show is called Another 24. And the reason why it's called Another 24 is because that's like the biggest blessing that we can get. It's the one thing that everybody on earth can agree on. We don't agree on much, different religions, different languages, different cultures, but everybody wants another day of life, another day to be self-aware, to build community, to date, or all of these things, right? So there is a young woman somewhere. She might be in Detroit. You know, she might be down the street in Atlanta somewhere, but she's watching everything that you're doing. Maybe she's in corporate America and she's having a hard time right now. But if you could talk to this young lady who might be struggling, and you could give her some advice to help her through her next 24, if you could look directly in that camera and just give her some words of encouragement. I know you got a lot to
Don't
say.
do this. No, that's going to make me emotional because it's almost like I'm talking to my past self who was struggling. And so I'll say you don't have to do it alone. It's hard, I know, to figure out what it is that you're meant to be in this world for. But join a community and, you know, at least have some support while you're doing that, because the work itself, doing that alone will probably just drive you even more up the wall. And so find people who want to be there for you, want to listen to you, want to support you, who understand what you're going through. You know, with all of my life experiences, I can probably relate to anybody, anybody in this world. And so I would say just like find people who can relate and find people who don't mind listening to when you're talking, and find people who are gonna just like be that shoulder that you want, that you need to lean on when it is that you're going through those hard times, because they are hard, and the emotions when they come up are not easy to process in the moment. And so that's the reason behind feeling some type of way. The wording, the phrase feeling some type of way is literally what we say when we don't know how to say what we need to say, but we can feel it in our bodies. And so literally my mission, my goal is for you to take those feelings, translate them into words, and then have the support that you need to be able to kind of work through them. So I would say join my community.
All right, well, there it is. Brittney, thank you so much for this conversation. You're the first person to make me cry on camera.
Oh my gosh.
But no, this was a very poignant conversation. It was very necessary. And
fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. And I think that you're doing great work in the community. You're being that person that you needed.
Yes.
And and that's how we keep the ball rolling.
Yes.
So thank you so much. We're going to be supporting everything that you're doing.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to the next time you talk.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
No problem. That's a wrap.